here. And let me spotlight Kathy. And all right. So, Kathy, if you'll go ahead and preview, tell us how wonderful our pedicure set is. They've redesigned it this year. I know people are loving it. So tell us about this pedicure set. Oh, look at
Okay,
you have a
I
little
will do that.
cactus right there. You're getting
Look
fancy.
at this. So I'm trying to be like Vanna, right? And if those of you who know me know I'm not the most coordinated person, so if this all like falls on the computer screen next ring light over, it is what it is. But I tried to make it pretty so you could see it. So I think first of all, the company has done a fabulous job with the packaging, because this in itself with just a ribbon tied around it is going to be a great gift. And there are so many gift opportunities coming up between now and who knows when, Christmas. But like we're coming into spring and summer, so we've got Easter and Mother's Day and brides and showers and graduations and birthdays and all of the things. So who wouldn't want to get this beautiful pedicure set in this beautiful box? It smells, you guys, so good. Mine just came in yesterday. So today, this afternoon, I thought I better try this on myself so like I can speak from experience and tell you just how good it really is. So I did, and I was more than pleasantly surprised. I loved it. It felt so good. And it smells so good. Like the whole bathroom was smelling good. I just sat on the edge of the tub because I didn't want to like get a bucket out and do the whole foot soap thing. I didn't have that much time. So I just sat on the edge of the tub, put a little water in the bottom, soaked my feet just a few minutes in warm water, and then I just applied the rosemary mint scrub first. And it feels so good. It gotta tell you, it doesn't look really pretty when it comes out because it's kind of a brownish, grainy look, but it feels so good. You don't care what it looks like coming out of the tube. It just felt, it was a great little massage that I did myself. Usually if I'm doing it myself, it's not such a great massage, but this was really, really good. And it was just a few minutes, but it was really refreshing. Like I said, the smell is great. The rosemary mint, you follow that, just rinse that off. Oh, wait, there's a cute little pumice stone. Check this out. Heart-shaped pumice stone. So I just used that on the rough spots and then rinse that off and then followed up with the rosemary mint lotion. And again, the rosemary mint smells so good. But then I checked online because I really wasn't too sure, like, why rosemary mint? There must have been a reason why they chose that. And I didn't see it real quick on In Touch. So I Googled, but I found out some things that I didn't know about rosemary and mint. So rosemary may help reduce pain and inflammation. So it only makes sense. Like that's perfect for your feet, right? What hurts more after being on, standing all day or working all day or wearing tight shoes all day? All of those things more than your feet. And I suppose you could use this on your hands too, but we've got certain hands for that. Anyway, so it reduces pain and inflammation. It also increases blood flow. And there was something else. Oh, this one really surprised me. Hydrates, but then it also produces an antibacterial surface on your skin. Who knew? I didn't know that at all about rosemary. So that was all good. And then of course the mint is the cooling and the soothing and the smell good. So the two together make a really nice spa-like experience. This comes, like I said, with the scrub, the lotion, the cute little heart-shaped pumice stone, and a file so that you can smooth out your edges. The whole thing is $30 retail. Perfect. And like Dawn said, we've got that special tonight. Buy two, get one free. Is that what it was? I think that's what it was. So great time to stock up for your gift closet. Fill up that gift drawer with these petty sets because they're great for anybody. And, I know that my husband is going to want me to do it for him. So treat yourself and treat someone you love, and then treat someone else to the gift and let them treat people. It just spread the love.
Thank you. Yeah, a gift closet is a good idea because then you're not scrambling. And those are great to have on hand. And again, they're limited edition. So consultants that you're new, you need to know that limited edition means when it's gone, it's gone. So you could wake up tomorrow and the pedicure sets are gone. So you want to get those ordered so that you have them because we're just starting. Look at that. We're just starting our pedicure season in Michigan. Flowers are just starting to bloom. But it just did snow a few days ago. But we could still do our rosemary mint and pretend that it's really spring and going to stay spring. So thank you, Kathy. Also for the consultants that are on. Christina always makes us a board, and that's an app that would have all the handouts from our Winning Wednesdays. Whenever we're doing an event, we have a board. So consultants, you want to get on Voxer and get into our Power Lunch Voxer group so that you have access to all of that for your customers. And I mean, there's a 50% off sale for customers. If you make a $50 purchase with your consultant, you get a half off item from the March specials. That's all on the board. Okay, Kathy, let's start a little conversation. I am gonna put myself on here too so we can chat. So,
Okay.
Kathy, I know you well, but I want these women to get to know you. So will you share your before, now, future story so they can, that this is modeling for new consultants at all your parties, all your interviews, you do a before, now, future story, so people can just get to know you a little bit better. So will you share that with us? And then we'll go on and answer a few more questions that I think they'd like to hear the answers to.
Okay, so here goes. And I have to tell you guys, like I got myself all like kind of nervous about like doing this tonight. And I thought, this is so weird. I told all them, it's like, I don't know why I get so worked up about this, but I think like, I feel like my story is a little bit boring. Like there's no great event, that spurred anything on. But then I said, well, hey, but it's my story. And not everybody has a great big fireworks kind of moment that spurs all of these things on. But so here goes. I was a flight attendant full-time before I started working my Mary Kay business. I retired from there in 2019. Got to tell you, flight attendant's a fun job because I got to talk to a lot of people, and that's what I like best in most of my life. Got to hear the stories, why they were going where they're going, who they were going to see. It was good, happy, sad, all kinds of different stories to hear. But that was my favorite part, is just talking to the people. Physically, very challenging. So I've had a few more birthdays than probably a lot of you that are on tonight. But like it just was a long day. Our schedule was typically scheduled for 13 to 14 hours a day. And that doesn't include the time that you have to be there. You got to be there an hour before your first flight, and you have to be at the hotel lobby like 45 minutes before that to get to anyway, it's a long, drawn out day, tiring. And so after this many birthdays, it was just time to do something different. On one of my flights, back in 2015, I guess it was, the flight attendant that I was working with said, have you ever tried Mary Kay? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I tried Mary Kay. So a long time ago, I was in Mary Kay for about a year, ended up walking away, and so I left Mary Kay, but Mary Kay never left me. But I hadn't talked even about it in a long time. A few times my husband and I had just, oh, didn't you used to do Mary Kay? Why are you buying all this stuff at clinic counter? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a reason for that. Anyway, so we got talking that day on the flight with the other flight attendant. And by the end of our 4-day trip, like I was just that little spark, or that little ember maybe, that was in my heart for Mary Kay, because I loved the company even when I was in back then. That was just ignited into this huge flame. And by the end of the 4 days, I called my cousin, who had called me a few times and asked me to sign under her as a consultant, and said, okay, sign me up. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready. I like this. Did it. And here I am, almost 9 years later, which seems like
Wow.
incredible to me that the time has gone by so fast. But I'm working now to shed the red, get rid of my red jacket, and move back into leadership, directorship, and earn my pink Cadillac by Christmas this year. So it's going to be a busy year, but it's going to be a super fun year, and I'm really looking forward to that.
So when you were in the pink Cadillac, how many cars will you have earned in Mary Kay?
Okay,
Is that
so
your
I've already
third car?
I've had two. I'm in qualification now for my third, the tracks.
Okay. Okay.
And then en route to the
okay.
Cadillac will be
That'll be your fourth.
yeah.
Yeah. And if you do an Equinox along the way, you'll do a
Yeah,
5.
that's
Uh-huh.
right. That'll
That's
be fun to
fun.
say I had 5 cars free by Christmas.
How many years have you had with no car payment or insurance payment because you're driving a free Mary Kay car?
So I earned my first car a year after I started back. So I started in 2015. So I earned it in 2016, August of 2016. So 2 years there. 2 years now, 4 years, I'm in my 5th.
That's a lot. Have you added
That's a
up how
lot.
much savings it is? No car
I
payments or
have
insurance
not, but I
payment?
can tell you, we just bought a new truck and got rid of my husband's stupid red pickup truck that I was so
Mhm.
happy to get rid of. And so I told him that I would make the payments on the new truck so that he would just do it because I was tired of listening to him getting around to it. It's a lot. It's a lot of money for a new car.
Oh,
So
yes,
yeah,
a lot of savings.
yeah. But I'll have to check it
And
out. I haven't added it all up.
yeah, you should do that sometime. That would be interesting. So if there's women on the line, consultants, or guests, they're like, well, about how many hours do you work? If you could give them an average of about how much you work a week to earn and then maintain a car. What does that look like? Or how many parties a month? Or how do you figure out your activity level to be in that mid-management car level?
Okay, so I know what my end goal is and I know what I need. There's an amount of monetary amount that I need of total team production by the end of my
Hmm.
month. I know how much my average is that when I see someone, what my average sales are going to be. And I know about, so from that, I can figure out about how many people I need to see. So I like to group them together. Like last night, we did a group of 6 or 7 guests here. Um, all in all, I would say less than 10 hours a week. I can tell you there have been very few weeks that I work more than 10 hours.
Hmm. I think that's fair. 10 hours a week, especially now that you can do virtual and in person. And so
Right.
I heard that you just delved into the virtual realm. You're getting crazy and did a Facebook party. And I heard that it went pretty good. What were your
It,
sales on your first Facebook party?
it was $1,072.
And how many women
I was
plugged into
happy.
that Facebook party?
Um, so there were, I think that my hostess had invited 31 people, 12 joined the group. There were about 5 that were real interactive during the meeting itself. I mean, during
Uh,
the Facebook party
uh-huh.
live event, but they commented off and on all week as well. And between well, I think there were a total of 6 orders altogether at the end, and they
Okay.
totaled $1,072.
And so, do you wonder why you didn't delve into this earlier?
Of course I do. Yes, yes, yes. And I've just got this like mental thing, it's like I can talk to you all day long when it's you and I sitting there, but when I feel like the camera's on me, it's just
Hmm?
this weird like so that's what like I just and Alden had to keep coaching me to keep saying you need to go live in your group, you need to go live in your group. And it just is such a like it's such a thing for me that I just have to get over it, and
Right.
I'm still working at that, obviously, but I'm still here. I didn't die during that first one.
That's good. And you made
I
five
made it.
over $500 profit. So, and I'm
Yeah,
sure it's skincare because you are a master at selling skincare.
it was all skincare. Hmm.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about that because you were scared to do that. And so I know I was scared when I made the decision to start my Mary Kay business. Most people are. And then, there's scary things along the way because it's new and different. But, share with these women, like, what have you found about like working through fear and learning how to do something new? Because I think that's one of the main things that hold people back. Like, I'm not a salesperson. I don't know anything about cosmetics. I don't know either person in real, locally, or I don't know virtual, like all the things that hold people back, generally bottom line is fear. So walk us through that. What have you experienced with the things that you've been scared of? And, like this one on the other side, what have you learned?
Okay, so I can tell you that first of all, I wouldn't have said like even a month ago that I was afraid to do Facebook Live or that I was afraid that it wasn't in my mind. I'm not scared yet. I am because I just didn't want to do it because I don't know why, but I just didn't. Now getting through that first week of last week's party was just like it was like a whole gray cloud moved off away from me because I knew that I did it. It wasn't perfect. Not everybody that joined the group actually participated and interacted in the group. But I really had fun with them and working with my hostess and the guests that I got to know. From that, I've got like 5 brand new skincare customers that I did not have 10 days ago. Um, I love that because those are the people that I have the recurring appointments with, that I get to see
Mhm.
over and over again as I take them their reorders and they try new products and they try new things and they become friends. My customer list is my Christmas card list, I guess, kind of, people that you really become friends with. And just like that was my favorite part of my flight attendant job, getting to talk to the people and getting to know them. It's to have that gray cloud gone and to just feel open to the friendship that is sitting there
Mhm.
waiting for me, that all I have to do is like reach through the camera to get to, is freeing. It really is.
Mhm.
And I feel so much braver right now.
Yeah. And so last night you had a party in person, and
Mhm.
how many women were at that? So we're talking virtual. Now let's talk in person. How many
Okay, so
women?
in person we had six or seven guests altogether. There
Okay.
were a couple consultants here, myself and
Mhm.
another consultant from my team, two other consultants from my team. Um, so if you counted all of them, I think there were probably 12 maybe altogether
Mhm.
of us. But six or seven guests, and of those, four of them, three of them were mine. There's supposed to be a
Mhm.
fourth, but she was sick at the last minute, wasn't able to. She's actually on tonight, I believe. So she's rejoining
Mhm.
tonight because she was not feeling well last night. Yeah, and out of that, I've got three brand new skincare customers again. So it's just
Awesome.
growing that friend list who happens to need skincare and knows that they can get that from me. So it went well.
So Kathy, you've been in Mary Kay 9 years working this, on average 10 hours a week. How many skincare customers do you think you have?
Oof. You asked me that once before, and I said, I should count that up. I really don't have that number. I don't know what it is.
What are your reorders? What do your reorders average a month?
Reorders a month are between 15 and 2,400 a month, I would say, in
Okay.
reorders.
Okay. And so that, like, we always want people to know that because um, we sell something that's consumable. It's washed down the
Mhm.
drain every single night. We are the number one selling brand of skincare in the world, and we have the highest customer loyalty in the cosmetic industry with skincare. And so I want people to hear that, new consultants in season, that your focus is building a skincare base because people are loyal to skincare more than just a mascara or a lipstick or an eyeshadow. Plus, it makes the biggest difference,
Mhm.
as they age. But 1,500 to 2,400, that's 7,500 to 1,200 a month in residual income, which that's a lot of money. I mean, I just
Mhm.
saw a statistic, and the average American family needs $11,400
I just saw that.
more a year than they did last year at this time to have the same life. 11,400. So if you're making 750 to 1,200 in reorders or new sales, and then the next year it's reorders, it's filling that gap in.
Mhm.
That Mary Kay right now, after 38 years myself, there's been many up and down economies. And in these economies, I'm so grateful that first off, I'm not employed. I don't have a job because that is a set income, a fixed income. You can't change it when the economy does what it's doing now. You just go into more debt or you have less savings or less retirement. So that you are an amazing seller of skincare and your people love you. You talked about loving the company.
Mhm.
Tell us why. Like what is it about this company that you loved? That I loved how you said there was like that little ember there and it got fanned.
Mhm.
So share with us, what do you love about this company, this culture? What do you want the women on here that are plugging in maybe to the first time? You know, what do you want them to know about this that they may not know, other than we sell skincare and we're a gigantic global beauty brand and all the things we showed on our video? What do you want them to know from the inside the pink bubble?
Okay, so from inside, the first thing that comes to mind is like almost all companies now, for what, maybe the last 10 or 15 years, have a mission statement or some purpose that they publish as what they're trying to get across to people that they believe in. I have never, I've never worked for any other company. I worked for a private physician. I worked for a major airline for 20 years. Mary Kay does such an amazing job of actually living the mission statement that they have created. It's that Mary Kay Ash herself created back in 1963. It's just the support and the love and the true, like, just nurturing of women and our spirits and our souls. And it's throughout, it's like inherent and bred throughout the entire system, all the way from, corporate office, which is beautiful in Dallas, Texas, to, right here in my own office. I hope that my customers and my acquaintances and my consultants that are on my team feel that same kind of care and nurturing and love from me, because we want that better for everyone else. We've experienced it, and now we want to pass that to someone else. And then you get into that whole legacy piece of, life is more important than what I'm doing today. It's what I'm going to leave when I'm gone, what's people are going to think of me when I'm gone from here. And this just like breathes that whole spirit of, giving back to all the grace that's been given to me over the years. And I just hope that I can pass that on. And I hope that all of you guys can like just hear my heart when I'm talking about this, because it's so real in Mary Kay. And I know, like I said, I know there are a lot of companies who say things about what they want people to experience or what they feel they're providing, the experience they feel they're providing for people, but it doesn't always come through like it does in Mary Kay.
Mm-hmm. And I saw one of the guests asked before my chat disappeared, what is the mission statement? And when you start your business, you get a Mary Kay autobiography in your starter kit. And Mary Kay Ash trained me. I went to her home for new director training. She was, alive and well and present with this company until a stroke took her speech. And then she passed away on Thanksgiving Day of 2001. But in her last chapter, she said she started this to give women an opportunity she didn't have, to be paid what they were worth around the priorities of God first, family second, and career third. And she said for this to continue on after she's gone, so it just didn't become a second or third generation business that tanks, which is common. She said it was up to us in the sales force, not Mary Kay corporate, us in the sales force. She called us her daughters, her directors, and her nationals, that we needed to preserve these three pillars of this business. We do our business according to the golden rule. That means treating other people how you want to be treated yourself. We believe that everyone has a seed of greatness planted in them, and that it's our job to encourage it out. And that Mary Kay felt that her life always worked better when she lived with God first, family second, career third. And so she modeled that. She taught us how to do that. And then the next generation of leaders who then taught us how to do that and walk that out. And I find it so interesting that, so I am as old as this company. I was born in 62. So this company's been around, and I started when I was 23. So I've been in this business more than half of my life, 2/3 of my life right now. And to see that in 2024, this opportunity is more relevant and needed than it was back when I started 38 years ago, or back when Mary Kay started in the early 60s and felt like women were missing out on something. So it's such a fun adventure to be on with a company that continues. We're not surviving. We didn't survive the pandemic. We're thriving, but it's because of those mission statements. We're doing the right things for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Let's wrap up with some financial conversation, because I known you through a time period when your husband retired and his company tanked, I think, after he retired, and he lost his pension. And then that, after quite a while, came back, but luckily you could fill in the gaps. And even now, like as you're aging, something I've really appreciated about Mary Kay is this is a community of, I was a 23-year-old being mentored by women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s. And that's not common in our culture. Like, in the United States, anyone who's over 25 is old, and doesn't know anything. And that's so far from the truth. But, as you age, share with these women, what are the benefits? Because we're all aging, and we all know women, especially with the age of the baby boomers, like the things that you value right now in your Mary Kay business, are very important for women who are baby boomers, and then like that next generation right underneath there. We have lots of 19-year-olds and 20, 30, 40-year-olds building Mary Kay business successfully, but you guys, the 50, 60, 70-year-olds, honestly, they're like kicking butt and taking names in Mary Kay right now. But share with them your perspective on that in the aging process. What is the value? Why are you continuing to do this versus being retired and not working at all?
Okay. So the big thing there is my husband had already selected his pension before I met him 19 years ago. So he took it as without a survivor benefit. So if the worst happens and he dies before I do, and there's a tragic end, I don't get his pension, it's gone. So my standard of living used to a higher level of income, because we've got his and mine together, would be cut in less than half if he goes before I do. So I wanted to make sure, and I've got my 401k. I worked for a long time and I have 401k money saved, but to me, that's not like, it's not like having revenue coming in the door each week that you can, that I want that to be my put away money, right? So with Mary Kay, this allows me to maintain the stability of knowing that no matter what happens with him, we talked about the reorder business earlier and how that provides residual income. And even if I get to the point where I'm not doing new sales and meeting new people at the level that I am now, I will continue. I promise I will continue to take care of all those customers, and hopefully they feel the loyalty to me and will stay with me. And that residual income business will go on and help support me, still allow me to do travel, whether or not I have his income attached to mine, have a house, have a car, have groceries. I mean, there are people who literally are making decisions at my age between whether they're going to buy food this month or their medication, and that is just, it's horrible to me to think that that exists in the country at the level that we are in the United States. It's just, I remember one of my grandmothers, it's my ex-husband's grandmother, but anyway, I literally remember her, like, chicken and flour were her two main staples. As long as she had chicken and flour, she could put a meal on the table. But and she was an immigrant from Romania and had come over on the boat literally, but she literally didn't have enough money to buy her flour and chicken and pay for her utilities of her paid for house, at a point when my in-laws ended up, they picked up the slack for her, fortunately. But there are so many people that don't have someone to pick up the slack for them. And to know that anybody can come into Mary Kay, whether you're, multiple master degrees and PhDs and all kinds of education, or whether you're straight out of 6th grade, it doesn't matter, as long as you're 18 and willing and coachable, and you're going to, put yourself into it. You can take care of yourself with a Mary Kay business. And that's important to me. And so many women, my age less, my age more, who are in that same spot where they need to fill a gap. And right now my gap is filled, but I don't know when that's going to be pulled back out from underneath me, just like it was when he lost his pension back for those 4 years that, a few years ago. So to me, that stability is important, and the flexibility of being able to still help my family and be there when they need me to be. I had some health issues with myself. I had some health issues with my sister who passed away. My dad is 93 and a half. And I'll tell you a story. Last week, I was able to attend a doctor appointment with him. He's great, except for his hearing is terrible. For the first time in probably since I was in junior high, he got a hearing aid that he could actually hear me speaking from another room. And it was just it brought me to tears, because that's always been the barrier between us, is he's just not able to hear. And he was able to hear me. And for me to be able to be at that appointment and actually sit with him when that was going on was an experience that I'm so grateful that I was there for. So it's that I never could have done that if I was still flying.
I love that. Okay, I think Christina, will you post the options? And Kathy, will you share these options of how, if there's a guest that's saying, you know what, maybe I need to do this for all of these reasons. Maybe, it's just laid on your heart that you need to do it because then you have more income to help other people if you don't need it. Because there's so many people that need help. Sometimes you look at situations, you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. I don't know what I can do about it. But what I found through Mary Kay is that like helping one person or one mom can make all the difference in, you know, the whole world. And 1 or 2 Mary Kay parties a month could, you know, help that out. So do we have the screen, Christina, with the options? Otherwise, we can verbally go through them.
I'm trying. I wasn't geared up for it. It's coming.
Well, you can start telling them about it, Kathy. So if someone says, I want to give it a shot, I want to be like Kathy, what are their options if they want to get a consultant number tonight so they can start the journey in the Mary Kay business?
Okay, so there are 3 really great options. The first one, $10, you guys, $10, fill out a consultant agreement. It's an online process. It'll be done in like 3 minutes and $10. That gives you a website and a ProPay, which is our credit card processing system. So they're attached. People can go online, order from your website, pay with their credit card, easy peasy. The second one is $45. There's a sale this month, so I'm a little crazy on the prices here, but $45 is the second one, I think. And that you can add the start. It's a $45 sample kit that you can add to the $10 e-start. So a total of $55, I guess that is then.
Yep.
There we go. There we are, 45. I'm good to know that that was right. Gives you samples and things that you can hand out to people to demonstrate for them, or that they can try so that they can see what the products are that they're going to buy. Mary Kay's a try before you buy. And then we have the third option, which is the full package. It says $90 plus the 10. So for $100 total, you get like $400 worth of full size retail products. You can see them all on that little picture right there. Everything that you would need to do to host a skincare class in person with, I think there's enough in there for 30 people, if I remember that correctly, approximately. So $10, $45, or $90 attached to a 3-minute online agreement, and you can have your consultant number tonight and start your business today.
So it'd be 10. Everyone has to do the 10. And that's just this month in March, you guys. And we started the $35 e-start during the pandemic. So right now, this is the thing going on. We're in the final 4 of Mary Kay. So it may, July 1st, when our new year starts, that may be done. Because I've never been in Mary Kay where we've done these options to get people going for a lesser price. So, I mean, if it's something you're thinking about, take advantage. So it's 10, 55, or 100. And so what I'm going to do, because I'm a fan of the 90 plus the 10, because that you're getting 2 miracle sets. You have everything to do it in person, wash your face yourself with Mary Kay, even if you have never tried the products before, and to be able to do it virtually. And then, like Kathy said, your credit card processing and your website. So when you do the $90 plus the 10 tonight, I'm going to reimburse you the $10. So you're just doing the $90. And the fact of the matter is, when I signed up in 1986, I paid $85 for my starter kit. So you're paying only $5 more. Like, Mary Kay always wanted everyone to be able to afford to try this business. And if you decide it's not your cup of tea, Mary Kay offers a 90% buyback policy. So we get to be business owners. We get to keep products on hand versus being an order taker, but it's at no financial risk to you because of the company's generous buyback policy. So thank you, Kathy. Is there any parting words that you would like to say to the guests that are on, that this may have been something that now they're thinking about? What would you like to share with them as far as making that decision?
Fan the ember, let it happen, and walk through the fear. My little camera fear, I'm still here. I lived through it, and you can too. Don't be afraid.
What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Okay, I'm going to stop our recording.